Today, I'm doing a before you buy review on the Mos Eisley Cantina. This set is retiring very soon, and this next month may be your last opportunity to pick one up. This set has beautiful detail, amazing interior, and a whopping 21 minifigures. It even has a few little play features as well. With that being said, let's get into the review. Starting off with the minifigures. First off, we have a New Hope Luke Skywalker. He's got amazing detail on his torso and his legs. Unfortunately, no arm printing, but he does have a bit of back printing. He also has two facial expressions as well. We also have Old Man Obi-Wan Kenobi, which has really nice torso printing, like very nice. And you can also see his face print is nice too. Once again, no arm printing for this minifigure. He does have back printing, but it's mostly covered by his cape. This figure does not have a second facial expression. Next up, we have your bog standard C-3PO. Nothing's really changed on this minifigure. He's got no arm printing, and he has the standard back print that we've always seen. Another bog standard minifigure, which is R2-D2. Once again, no back printing. I have seen some R2-D2s with back printing, but this one does not have it. Next up, we have Han Solo with really nice torso printing and leg printing. No arm printing on this minifigure, but he does have a little bit of back printing, which is nice. If you take his really cool hairpiece off, you can also see he does have a second facial expression as well. Again, another bog standard minifigure being Dewback. It's the same one we've always seen. Next up, we have a really cool minifigure being the Sand Trooper Squad leader. The detail on this guy is absolutely insane, especially with the shoulder cape thing as well. That's really nice. No arm printing on this minifigure. And then on the back, you have this little backpack. I can't remember what they actually used it for, but I'm just going to call it a backpack. Once again, here's the shoulder cape thing looking really nice. If you do decide to take his helmet off, he's got the bog standard clone face print. Not a bad print, and it looks really nice. He does not have a second facial expression either. Here we have just a normal Sand Trooper. It's pretty much exactly the same as the Sand Trooper Squad leader, although this guy has a black shoulder cape thing. Pretty much the exact same, so I'm not going to talk too much into this. But still, a really nice minifigure. I will say the face print is actually different on this minifigure. Next up, we have 3 members of the Cantina band. Every single minifigure here has the exact same print, but the musical instruments are different for every single one. Obviously, in the films, there is more than 3 Cantina members, but for this, we're only getting 3 of them. As you can see, they do have a bit of back print, but other than that, not much to say about them. Although I will say the head mold for these Cantina band members is really cool. Next up, we have Wooher, which is the owner of the Mos Eisley Cantina. A really unique minifigure with a really great torso print. I also like how on his face you can see his sideburns coming down past his hair, which is a really nice touch. He has no arm printing and he has a little bit of back printing, but not much. Underneath the hairpiece on the back of the head, you can see a second facial expression, which is always nice. A solid minifigure. Next up, we have Greedo. His face mold's looking great. His torso print is amazing. Really detailed. He also has leg printing too, which is also a nice touch. Once again, no arm printing, and he has a little bit of back print. Next up, we have Ponda Baba. He has a really nice head mold and really great torso printing. Once again, no arm printing. You can see a theme here. Lego Star Wars likes to cheap out on the minifigures, unfortunately, which isn't nice. But still, this is a solid minifigure. He also has a tiny bit of back print too. Nothing special. Here we have Dr. Evazan. This minifigure is great. The hairpiece is great. The face printing is great. The torso printing is great. Unfortunately, again, no arm printing. Do I really have to say it anymore? And he also has a tad bit of back printing too. I do think this is a solid minifigure. And on the plus side, he has a second facial expression. Next up is Labria. His hairpiece is basically his horns in his ears, which is really nice. He has great torso printing and a great face print. No arm printing. Would you believe it? He does have back print, and the back print is really nice. Unfortunately, though, you can't see it because of the cape. And he does have 2 facial expressions, with this one being more of a serious face. Next up, we have Herchek Kalfaz. Another great, unique minifigure with a nice head mold and great torso printing. As you can see, a lot of detail went into that torso printing, which is nice. He has no arm printing. And he does have a little bit of back print as well. Here we have Momo Nadan. Really weird names, and it took me a while to pronounce them. This guy has a really great head mold. He also has torso printing and leg printing and even feet. You can see his little toes there. It looks really, really good. I think this minifigure has the most detail out of all of them. As you can see here, his head mold is crazy. It sticks out loads. He has no arm printing though, but on the bright side, he does have pretty neat back printing, where you can see the top of his scarf still and his belt. Next up is Kabe. The hairpiece is really, really nice with the big ears sticking up. It looks great. His face print is very creepy, but cool. He has nice torso printing, no leg printing at all, and the legs are very, very small. Once again, no arm printing, and I think every single minifigure so far has had no arm printing. And he has a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of back printing, but still a great minifigure that we've never seen before. Here we have a Jawa, pretty much the same as every single other Jawa. As you can see through his hood, we have two little yellow eyes, which look great. His torso printing is nice. Once again, he has no arm printing, so if you are a fan of arm printed minifigures, this set probably isn't for you. The Jawa does have back printing, which is pretty decent. A solid minifigure. And then next up we have the Imperial Spy, Garandon. This is probably the best minifigure in the set. With the hood piece, you also get a little nose. One of them old school witch doctor type face pieces. Pretty cool. As you can see, he is in the Imperial uniform. He doesn't have arm printing, and as you can see, he does have a bit of back printing, but once again, hidden by the cape. Here is a closer look at the face attachment on the minifigure too. Lego did a really good job on this minifigure. Now we're going to get onto the build itself. Starting off with the Jawa shop. This building looks incredible. It's where the Jawas store all of their scrap that they're going to sell. This Jawa shop fits right at the side of the cantina and looks great. The outside details of this are incredible, with roofs that you can take off for easy access. You can open up one of the buildings to make playability a lot easier, and you also have a little doorway as well. Inside the shop you can see multiple different items, including a shovel, some binoculars, and lots of other scrap. On the outside of the shop you can see a little bit more scrap, just makes the building look complete. Like I say, this whole build, the cantina, the details are incredible, and it's definitely not a set to be missed. I will say that now. Here you can see some of the details on the roof pieces. They look really good. At the front of the Jawa shop, you can see a little cloth piece which fits nicely above the window. Here is a closer look at how you can open up this building for easy access. It makes it really nice. You can see a broom in there, a couple of other bits and bobs. Typical Jawa stuff. Next up we have the Ubrakayan 9000 speeder. This is a very weird looking speeder, but it's cool. You can fit one minifigure inside and it looks pretty nice. The color scheme, the stickers, everything on this looks incredible. As you can see here, we're going to fit C-3PO right on in there and he fits perfectly. Next up we have these two towers. I don't really know the names of them, but they look really cool. Crazy amounts of detail went into these. It was a really fun build doing these as well, and they attach right onto the cantina. They look like some sort of energy source, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. Next up we have the Dewback. This is a really cool mold. As you can see here, you can open up its mouth and you can see a couple of teeth in there. Really nice. You have a saddle on the top with a little rope thing for your minifigure to hold on to control the Dewback. You have a weapon and binoculars also clipped onto the side of the saddle. If you do want to take this saddle off, you can also do that. Take the saddle off, take the little rope thing off around its face, and you can use it as a wild Dewback instead. The one bad thing about doing this is it's really hard to take that piece back off. As you see, it just breaks into loads of little pieces, and it's very annoying. Next up, we have the V35 Land Speeder. This speeder looks incredible. It has amazing detail, and you can also fit two minifigures on this speeder. The stickers complete this speeder and make it look really nice. We're going to pop C-3PO right on in there. It is a little bit of a tight squeeze, but they do fit. He's going to have a hard time seeing when driving that though. Underneath we have loads of smooth pieces so you can play with it and move it across a hard surface very easily. And we can also take C-3PO out of the cockpit and put him into the back of the speeder instead. And I do think it's great that you can fit 2 minifigures on this speeder. Now it's time to get into the main building, the cantina itself. First off, outside the cantina, you have this little area for the Dewback to sit and chill out. He does have some water to drink there and a little bone. The detail around this little Dewback pen is really, really nice with some circular looking pieces there. As you can see, the outer wall looks really, really good with different techniques used to build the wall. Different colours as well, just to give it that final nice touch. Here we have the main entrance to the cantina. As you can see, you can lift this door open, and if you pull it up far enough, it does stay in place, so you can get your minifigures to walk into the cantina. Once again, loads of really nice detail on the outside as well. I do love every single bit of detail on this. This is probably the best thing about the cantina, and that is the detail. On the other side of the cantina, you have loads of bits and bobs, being like generators, crates with things in. So you have this little crate here with a crowbar looking thing. You have this crate here with a pair of binoculars. And you also have a little crate here with a printed Imperial logo on as well, which is really cool. A bit further along as well, you do have another door, which leads directly into the storage area in the cantina. On the top of the cantina, you have this little piece here, which you can just lift off, really nice and easy, to then gain better access into the interior. The cantina is fairly easy to pull apart, but sometimes things do break when I tend to pull it apart. Maybe I'm just a bit heavy-handed. But looking closer at the interior now, when you walk through the entrance of the cantina, you are greeted with a couple of chairs and a nice light. You also have a little device machine thing on the wall there with some stickers on. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it looks great. On top of that room as well, you do have a little roof piece that you can lift up and look inside for a better view. Moving along, we have a 4-seater chair sitting area with some nice accessories on the table. Lots of other crazy little details as well, like multiple lights, another printed Imperial box, and some little stools as well on the outside. Here we have a couple more 2-seaters. So you've got a lot of these rooms where your minifigures can sit down and have a drink. It looks great, honestly. I love the contrast between the sand and the brown pieces on the cantina. It makes it look insanely good. Moving on to the bar, which I think has the most detail out of the whole cantina. As you can see, there's loads of pumps, pipes, drinks everywhere. And the amount of techniques used to build all this is mental. As you can see at the back of the bar here, we have loads of spare glasses. And also around the bar, you have this really nice bendy piece, which fits right around the bar perfectly. Taking a closer look inside the bar, we have a till with a couple of drawers with a bone in. I don't know why there's a bone in there. Yeah, overall, the bar looks insanely good. And Lego did a really good job on this. Swiftly moving on, we have the area where the Cantina band will stand and sing their beautiful song. A couple of little details in there, including a light. Moving on, we have another 2-seater area with even more detail, including lights and cups. But on this one, we also have a little play feature where you can sit Han Solo and Greedo and perform the "Who Shot First" scene, which is a really nice touch. Here, I'm testing it on C-3PO. As you see, I'm pressing the thing down on the outside, and you can see he does go flying a little bit. Moving on, we have more stools on the outside, and also another little booth with 2 more chairs. Now, with all of those little rooms, you can take off every single roof piece for easier access. It makes this thing a lot easier to play with, and it's just great. It's a great feature. Here we have the room at the back of the bar. It's basically like a storage room. As you can see, there's a couple of glasses back there. There's a broom and probably drinks and stuff like that. Your average storage room stuff. Fun fact, you never saw a storage room in the Cantina in A New Hope. So the Lego team had creative freedom to create this back room, and it looks really, really good, and they did a good job on it. Here you can see the piece that you need to put in to connect the cantina back up as one. It is a bit tough to get it back in, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's possible. This is how you connect the Jawa shop onto the cantina. Pretty nice, simple and easy. And there you go, you have the whole cantina put together. It looks great. So yeah guys, that was my general review for the cantina. I tried to get through it as quickly as possible. I hope you did enjoy. This cantina is beautiful. It's great. It really is. I'd say this set is great value for money. And if you haven't picked it up already, I suggest doing so because you will regret it if you don't. But yeah guys, if you did enjoy this review, please smash that like button and the subscribe button. And I'll see you all for the next YouTube video.